Hello and welcome to a small little clip video of Resident Evil, the HD PS4 remaster, rejigged, new millennium, yada yada edition. What they've basically done is they took the original game, when it was ported for the GameCube a few years ago, it had a bit of enhancements on the graphics, and they've just like tweaked it and just polished up a bit of the edges once more for this new version today. And they've done a pretty good job. For an old game, it still plays quite well, and being an old game, it has been quite a long time since I last played it, which means that I was basically approaching this game as a newbie once more. This short video is just basically the first section of the game, as I was just getting used to the control method. The new alternate control method is a lot better than the original one. I remember the original one being a lot of turning around in the spot and walking into walls. I'm still getting a habit of walking into walls, but now it's a direction control. So if I wanted to go down on the screen, I push down, up, etc, etc, etc. Getting used to like all the layouts of all the configuration at the moment. There's the maps, etc, telling you where all the areas you've explored. Decided to start swiping my knife. Yep, that swipes forwards. I remember the knife being absolutely awful to wield in the past, so I wasn't looking forward to this next bit of the game. Quick look into the options and configuration and like equipment. Yep, so I don't need to use the lighter right now, so let's exit out. On the later games in the series, whenever you found like clay pots and things like that, you could smash them. So I decided, yeah, have they done that for the remaster? No. So all the scenery can't be interacted with unless it's a pick up an object, such as the emblem. Details that you can examine an item. Right, I remember when the PlayStation 1 version of this game came out, it was quite a new thing for like that generation of consoles, that, you know, the 3D rendering of things, and like examining items and doing this with it was such a major step forward. It's like, wow, you can turn it around as though it's an actual item in your hand, and you can look at it from every angle. That's such fine detail. Now it's done so often that it's not that impressive, but I still like to examine everything, just to look at the detail that goes into all games. And you know, like I say, for the HD remaster, this is quite a good rejig, and they've polished up some of the shadow effects and some of the lighting, and yeah, it's a decent attempt. I remember that clock is useful later. There's something to do with the clock. I can't remember exactly, because like I say, it's been a long time since I last played Resident Evil, so I am kind of rusty on this whole game, basically. So I remembered that this corridor is where it first starts, basically. I've contemplated going up the other way and exploring, but decided, no, I'm going to activate the cutscene. So let's experience it in its full. And here comes the first zombie that you encounter. Here I am with the knife. I remembered at this point that I was always useless with the knife, and I hated using it completely. I managed to stab him twice before he starts chomping on my neck. Push him down to the floor, and then instead of actually stabbing downwards, I decided to swipe upwards, because, you know, that's useful. So he just naturally stands up and chomps me again. I've worked out how to stab downwards at that point, but I continued stabbing downwards when he was actually stood up, which meant I was just hitting his ankle rather than a decent place like his face. At this point, I thought the zombie had died because I was walking through it. Sadly, he wasn't, so I had to turn around and start stabbing again. And here comes the first death of Chris Redfield. Yep, I'm zombie food. Now, it wasn't all great loss, because at this point I got a trophy saying get used to it. Basically, because I've died once, just get used to dying a lot, and I will do. So, second time round, I decided to start swiping the knife up, down, left, right in this room to get used to the combat mechanism before. Okay, so we then go back to the corridor. Now, I could have just gone straight to the zombie, but I thought, no, I'm going to explore. One thing that I always like on these games is like exploring everything and seeing whether you can get anywhere. Obviously, all the doors are locked at this point in time because it wants to channel me to that zombie encounter to start the main story. But I wanted to examine everything. This door has an emblem of a shield. Is it that emblem? It might be, but I need the key, which has the emblem. There's the lift that will be useful later for getting down to the lower levels. And then there's a flight of stairs that I couldn't remember ever using in the original version. They probably were there, it's just been a long time since I played it. Emblem of a sword, so another key needed, this one with a sword on it. So there's no other doors to open or examine, so time to go and face my demons, or the zombie that killed me. So this time the cutscene activates. I'll just skip past it because we don't particularly need to see it all over again. And here comes Zombie Boy. Instead of confronting him from a distance where I couldn't quite make out the perspective, I decided to draw him down the corridor a bit, so I've got a better point of view. Here he comes. Now here, there's enough room to be able to like move forwards, backwards without it flicking camera, because the flicking camera, which really causes confusion. So I managed a good swipe on his head there before he chomps me. Yep, I am really useless with the knife. But this time, yeah, swipe him down and then spin back around him. Now I run right past, go around here and see if this door will open. It won't. But I thought, examine the corpse. The zombie's well away. Let's get the item that I need off it, because I knew he had an item, which was a video cassette. Examine the corpse again, because just for good measure. Now, at this point, I could have just run past the zombie and gone back to Wesker. You don't need to take out the zombie. You can come back later when you've got a gun and shoot him if you want. But, you know, this was a grudge match. The guy had bit me to death last time, so I was determined to actually kill him. So, after he chomps me there, quick stab to the chest, run past him, draw him back to my nice corridor that I can see what's going on. Wait for him. Another stab. Stab to the face. We managed to get another bite in. Now, if you're keeping track, this means that if I get bit one more time, I'm dead. Oh no, I was wrong. If I get bit another time after this, I'll be dead. As you can see, I'm now clutching me side. Zombie's dead. Feel quite good. Stand on top of him and mock him. Okay, so we switch back to the room that we left Wesker and Jill in. And what a surprise. The man with the dodgy shades has run off with Jill.
Wesker?
Yes, Wesker wears sunglasses at night, which either means he's a member of the Blues Brothers band, or he's a bad guy. And let's be honest, we all know he's a bad guy. The guy's one of the worst guys in history. They've left a handgun, which is quite nice of them. They could have actually passed me the handgun before they sent me off to go and explore the other room, because it would have been nice to have shot that other zombie, because 1 or 2 shots, he'd have been down. So at this point I think, well, let's explore the hall, let's examine the other doors and other areas. There's nothing round that way. I pop down onto this area. Chris is clutching his side at this point, so I could do with some herb, but I can't find any herb. I can't remember where this corridor leads to, so I'm looking forward to exploring down there. It's like I say, it's been so long since I last played this game on the PS1 that I've completely forgotten everything about it. What I do know is that the other side door is where it wants to guide me to, so I don't try that door because I don't want to go through there yet. I wanted to explore everything. Now I remembered the main doors. It used to be something that as you try to open them, something tries to get in and you shut it. So I decided to give that a shot. Didn't expect something to actually get in. And like I said, one more bite, and yep, there you go. I'm dead. So, within 10 minutes of playing this game, I've already died twice. I guess I'm going to have to get used to this because I'm quite rusty on it. But I'm sure second time round I'll get a lot better. Thank you for watching, and keep a lookout for any future videos coming up.